In this edition, we will talk about eugenics. One of the best processes, science eliminate the defective genes of the organisms.
Sorry, sorry. A better quality of life? The humans were never perfect, and we always make mistakes. And taking risks with this eugenics project could go wrong, and the project could hurt the patient.
Hey, wait for it. Eugenics is a process by which many people have obtained a quality of life. Some genes can be eliminated, for example, those that contain diseases, helping the organism to obtain a better life.
I agree with the black hat. The eugenesis will not always give good results, and one possibility of knowing how it will react is by testing.
Oh, another important thing is that the term eugenics good birth was created in 1818 by the important British naturalist Francis Galton. The funny thing is that Galton's interest in energy emerged shortly after the publication of The Origin of the Species.
Yes, Dana, but I have something more important. You know that eugenetics, in part, was created for don't have more problems with the racism to change some parts of the organisms of some people.
But it can be possible if the baby is potentiated, it could make an entire generation better, right? Like stronger in a lot of aspects and things like that, right?
Before the Nazi regime, they did forced sterilization for poor people, mothers, African American, and people with mental problems. Since all the people has the rights to have children and multiply. Taking away someone children is a great pain, and it is an injustice.
Of course, but in today's eugenics, molecular biology procedures are used for genetic diagnosis, as well as direct intervention on genes. Among these analyses could be pre-implantational and prenatal diagnosis, as well as germline gene therapy and genetic engineering for breeding. What makes a process better, developed by the tools that are available today, this is a benefit because people can have less suffering during this process.
There were quite a few cases of problem among those developing epilepsy, feeded mean people, and even the poor. Science Party had its own medical diagnosis. In total, there were about 60,000, 70,000 people who were sterilized.
In the early days of the eugenics in the United States, between 16 and 17,000 people were sterilized in 30 years period.
It is good that some people have already done this process to eliminate the bad things in his body.
This is an idea. Technology advances every day, and the person could make a machine that see how the organism is going to react when they doing the eugenesis. And if it reacts good, it will be done. And if reacts bad, they see other solution.
We have to understand something that the eugenics was created with one simple thing, that the eugenics change our body if you have a disease, for example, if you have a bad thing in your physical aspect. Oh my god, Camilo, I don't know that this can change my feelings, but changing the topic, you know that are different types of eugenics, but I don't know. Please explain me.
Yes, there are different types of eugenics. One of them is the positive eugenics. It is the manipulation of genes which provides the opportunity to select the junior genes. For example, in the fertilization system, this allows to analyze the embryos and select them careful. That is why it is called in vitro fertilization, which is beneficial for those who seek help in the practice of cooking. Another time is modern eugenics. This is the scientific process and research the mechanisms to reduce human diseases. Some countries have legalized a program derived from molecular biology that allows genetic manipulation.
We also find the negative eugenics, which focuses on reduce the fertilization of the people. with the weakest genetic advantage, including family planning, genetic counseling, abortion, sterilization, and other planning methods. Another type of eugenics is classical eugenics, its purpose to improve the race according to the Nazis. These changes are generated so that the criminals mentally ill or pedophiles are not born.
Also, in the Nazi regime, they also killed a lot of people just for not having perfect qualities and characteristics. That is a big injustice.
I think we all have the right of have babies, and no one is to blame that the baby is sick. And this is not a reason to kill him.
If also in 17 there was a protest on part of the women because they separated about 30,000 children from their mothers to tear them away from bad maternal influences and maximus.
In the classic genetics, insofar as it was applied, was characterized by limiting individual reproductive rights on the genetic health of future generations.
We can conclude that eugenics is the process that includes the application of the laws of genetic biology in order to find perfections in the human.
Yes, Sophie, and this is well to improve the human race. But you know that with the eugenics, we can change the imperfections that put our ancestors.
Finally, we can conclude that to create the new eugenics, this passage for a dark area in the Second World War. This eugenics was commanded by Germany, and they killed many people to become the most perfect and powerful people in the world.